The 2010 FIFA World Cup has come and gone and created what some people believe is a new stage of the history of South Africa. Today I'm going to take you on a journey on how we in Durban experienced this tournament and how it has changed the way Durbanites think about themselves and their city. Tourism was a big winner for Durban during the 2010 FIFA World Cup. But it was not the big expensive hotels that did well. It was the little guys like eThekwini backpackers that were packed out for the games.
Well, the World Cup was magnificent. It was really the event it was built up to be. It's one of the biggest events in the world. We've hosted plenty of events before, including Rugby World Cup, Cricket World Cups and British Lions tours, but it was like as big as it was promised to be, much bigger than all of those and involving so many countries. So it was really incredible. We were very busy and everything that it was built up to be.
They did a really good job. The stadiums were beautiful, the people were great, and I think it's been talked about in the news, just the fact that the African teams didn't go so far. The teams, even though they didn't win, South Africans united against with other teams, and I think it was really great. A good example of unity and really what the sport was all about, which is having a good time.
One of the biggest things I believe it did was just bring a lot of the world's attention to it, in the sense that it put it in the center stage for at least an entire month. Let more people from different cultures understand what South Africa truly is, from having everyone around the world come and travel, see the different parts of South Africa, and whatever maybe thoughts and conceptions they had of what South Africa was before they arrived, I'm pretty positive they changed for the better upon their departure.
I was thinking before it started that it was going to be quite something, and it really was, because the multiculturalness, we get that here, but we don't really get them all at the same time. And so there was North Americans, South Americans, Europeans, lots of Australians, lots of Americans, as well as Canadians, and just pretty much everything. And it really was an interesting mix because it was so social, and it was to watch all these different nations mixed together.
Of course, it wasn't just accommodation that benefited from the tournament. Businesses on Durban's beachfront benefited from the flock of tourists coming to enjoy the warm weather and the warm water. This was where the FIFA Fan Fest was held, the only one of its kind to be held on the beach.
I think talking about Durban, World Cup has done a lot because our beaches look very lovely now. They do all the infrastructure, it's all looking very well. It's beautiful.
I think of upliftment value and the way that the country is going. We've invested quite a lot of money in the country, and I think the injection of money into the country and improvements of a few projects, the Gautrain transport systems, not only in Johannesburg but also in Durban. It's a beautiful stadium, so at least we'll have a few more events at it, hopefully. And I think the injection into the country has been great. The amounts of capital and the profits that the country has made, well done.
One of the things that the World Cup has done was Durban became a discovery for people who didn't know about Durban. I think it's because of the facilities, the beach, the weather, and the new infrastructure that we have. The point from the Durban City Council side is that most of the assets that were built during the World Cup were never meant to be used only for the World Cup. We consider the fact that those assets and the infrastructure that was provided, it's something that needs to be used beyond the 2010 World Cup. So if you look at the stadium, the Moses Mabhida Stadium, it was designed in such a way that it could be used during the World Cup, but it could also be used for other events beyond the 2010 World Cup.
Well, Durban had a lot of people visiting. A lot of people went back home with great feedback and good news about South Africa and how Durban was in general. A lot of them are looking forward to coming back, and a lot of them had very good things to say about South Africa. Personally, for me, I am proud to be South African. I know that now when I say I am from South Africa, people will look up and recognize that we hosted the 2010 FIFA World Cup with pride. And this is goodbye for me. Well, see you in Brazil.